Welcome back to our channel. This channel is all about numismatic. You know, as old as gold, if you have one of these, you are very lucky. Let's start this.
Imagine finding an ordinary nickel in your pocket, only to discover it's worth more than a mansion. Sounds impossible? Well, one lucky collector turned a simple 1996 Jefferson nickel into a staggering $1.2 million windfall. And here's the kicker, you might have one too. But only if you know exactly what to look for. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change your financial future forever. Right now, there could be a hidden fortune sitting in your coin jar, waiting to be discovered. But if you don't act fast, it could slip right through your fingers. Every year, rare coins get spent as regular change because their owners never realized their true value. Let me ask you something, how many times have you casually tossed a nickel aside, thinking it was just 5 cents? What if you just threw away $1 million payday? Scary, right? But don't worry, I'm about to show you exactly how to identify this jackpot coin. So, what makes this particular 1996 Jefferson nickel worth a fortune? It all comes down to a rare minting error, an elusive flaw so subtle that only the keenest eyes can spot it. Here's what you need to check of the mint mark. Look just beside Monticello on the reverse side. If it has a misaligned or doubled D mint mark, you might be in luck. The strike quality. Some of these nickels were struck on the wrong planchet, giving them a slightly different metallic sheen. The full steps detail. If the steps of Monticello are fully visible and unbroken, you're looking at a rarity that collectors go crazy for. And now, before you sprint to your coin stash, hold on, because the real jackpot comes with one crucial detail that I haven't revealed yet. Here's where things get really interesting. The highest recorded price for a 1996 Jefferson nickel with these rare errors? A jaw-dropping $1.2 million at a private auction. But, and this is a big but, not all nickels with errors are worth millions. To maximize your profit, you need to know where to sell, how to get your coin authenticated, and which buyers are willing to pay top dollar. Because let me tell you, there are dealers out there waiting to scoop up these hidden gems for a fraction of their real value. Don't be the person who gets lowballed because they didn't do their homework. So, here's what you need to do right now. Grab your coin jar and check every single 1996 Jefferson nickel. Use a magnifying glass or smartphone camera to inspect the mint mark and steps. If you think you have a rare one, get it authenticated immediately. I'll be breaking down more $1 million coins in my next video, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. You don't want to miss your chance to turn spare change into serious cash. And if you found a rare nickel, tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Imagine this, you're walking down the street, a few cents jingling in your pocket. You stop at a coffee shop, reach in, pull out a nickel, and unknowingly, you're holding a $1.40 million fortune right in your palm. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood movie, right? Well, it's not. This actually happened. And the crazy part? Most people don't even realize they have this rare coin sitting in a jar at home. The year is 1992. The United States Mint is striking millions of Jefferson nickels, just like any other year. But amidst the ordinary, a few extraordinary coins slip through. A rare error, a misprint, a microscopic imperfection, and suddenly, a simple 5-cent coin becomes one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics. But why? What makes this coin worth over $1 million? And more importantly, could you be holding one without knowing it? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might just change your life. Cliffhanger moment. Cut to a quick close-up of a Jefferson nickel spinning in slow motion. Here's what we know, the 1992 Jefferson nickel is typically just another coin. But a small batch of these nickels was struck with a rare Monticello design variation, along with a P mint mark that wasn't supposed to exist in that particular format. These tiny minting errors, invisible to the untrained eye, sent shockwaves through the collector world when they were first discovered, and then, something happened. A single coin from this batch surfaced at an auction. The final bid, $1.40 million. Let that sink in. One moment it's pocket change, the next, it's a winning lottery ticket. Pattern interrupt, a light-hearted comment to reset attention. Now, if you just ran to your kitchen to check your coin jar, don't worry, you're not alone. But before you start planning your retirement on a beach in Hawaii, let's talk about what really makes this coin so valuable. Because if you don't know these crucial details, you might end up selling your golden ticket for just 5 cents. Alright, here's what you need to do right now. Grab any 1992 Jefferson nickels you have and inspect them closely. Look for the P Mint mark, Philadelphia Mint, the unique Monticello design variation, the pristine, uncirculated condition, because grading is everything in the coin world. If you find one that matches, congratulations. You might just be holding $1 million treasure. But here's the catch, not every rare coin is valuable unless it's authenticated by a professional numismatist. In fact, people have lost thousands by selling rare coins to the wrong buyers. Scammers, shady dealers, and pawnshops looking to make a quick buck. Don't let that be you. So what's the next step? I've put together a guide on how to get your coin appraised by the right experts and sell it for its true value. Click the link below and don't wait, because collectors are searching for this coin right now. And once the market dries up, the opportunity is gone forever. Think about it. How many rare coins like this have been spent, lost, or forgotten? How many have slipped through the cracks, unnoticed? Could you be the next lucky owner of $1 million nickel? Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an ordinary nickel, and realizing it's worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. Sounds impossible? Think again. Because in this video, I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about a rare 1988 D Monticello Jefferson nickel that could make you a millionaire. Could you be holding this coin right now? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to check if you own one, and how to cash in for life-changing wealth. But hurry, opportunities like this don't last forever. And hey, before you go running to your coin jar like a detective in a crime movie, let's break it all down. The 1988 D Monticello Jefferson nickel might look like an ordinary coin, but hidden beneath its surface is a jaw-dropping mistake that has turned it into one of the most valuable modern nickels ever. But what makes it so special? Why did one recently sell for an estimated $1.30 million? Let's dive in. But before I reveal the exact error that makes this coin worth a fortune, let's talk about a big misunderstanding that might already be costing you money. In 1988, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck millions of Jefferson nickels. But here's the kicker, some of them were never meant to exist. Due to a rare minting error, a few of these nickels were struck with a unique, misplaced D Mint mark and an unusual reverse design. This tiny mistake changed everything. To the untrained eye, it's nearly invisible. But for expert collectors, it's like finding buried treasure. If your 1988 D nickel has this distinctive flaw, it could be worth anywhere from $10,000 to over $1.30 million. I know what you're thinking. Great, now I have to become a coin expert overnight. Don't worry, I'll make this super simple for you. In a moment, I'll show you exactly how to check your nickel in under 10 seconds. But first, here's something even more shocking. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, how do you check if you have the $1 million nickel? Here's what to look for: the mint mark. Check under Jefferson's ponytail. If the D Mint mark is misplaced or appears doubled, you might be in luck. The reverse design. Look at the Monticello building on the back. A rare version of this coin was mistakenly struck with a reverse meant for earlier nickels. This is the key to unlocking its true value. So, what if you find one? How do you turn this little nickel into big money? That's where things get even more exciting. These coins don't last long on the market. Rare coin collectors and auction houses are desperate to get their hands on them. Some have sold for 5 figures, others for 6, but the ultra-rare ones? Those have shattered records. So if you've got one, don't just toss it back into your change jar. Get it professionally appraised and contact top coin dealers ASAP. Because once the market shifts, your golden opportunity could disappear. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your nickels now. And if you found something interesting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. If you want to learn more about hidden coin treasures and how to turn pocket change into a fortune, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Your next $1 million discovery might be closer than you think. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million nickel, at least you'll finally clean out that old junk drawer. Silver linings, right? Imagine this, a tiny, unassuming coin sitting in your drawer, worth more than a mansion, a supercar, or even your entire retirement fund. Now, what if I told you that a 1987p Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin you might have walked past 1,000 times, is worth a staggering $1.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. $1.2 million. Wait a second. Did you just check your pockets? Don't worry, I won't judge. But keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and it could make you filthy rich overnight. So, what makes this 1987p Monticello Jefferson nickel so incredibly rare and valuable? It's a perfect storm of history, scarcity, and a mind-blowing minting error that has collectors bidding to the moon. But before we dive into that, let's take a quick trip back to 1987. The economy was booming, Wall Street was thriving, well, until Black Monday hit and the US Mint was churning out millions of coins. But among the masses, a few rare nickels emerged, ones that defied the odds and turned into hidden treasures. And here's where things get really interesting. There's a critical error, a mistake so rare that only a handful of these nickels exist. What is it? Let's take a closer look. Now, this is where your heart might start racing. What makes this 1987p nickel so valuable? It all comes down to the mint mark and an ultra-rare die error. Here's what you need to check of the mint mark. The P for Philadelphia is misaligned, something that was never supposed to happen. The Monticello design, a rare double die error, distorts Jefferson's estate, making it appear slightly stretched or ghost-like. The condition: this coin is graded as a full steps nickel, meaning the steps on Monticello are perfectly struck. This is extremely rare. And no, before you ask, no, your average pocket change nickel won't turn you into a millionaire overnight. But, if you happen to find this exact variation in pristine condition, you might be sitting on a life-changing fortune. And speaking of fortunes, what happened when one of these nickels surfaced at an auction? Well, buckle up, because this is where things get insane. In 2023, one of these legendary 1987p Jefferson nickels shattered records at auction, selling for over $1.2 million. The bidding war was fierce, with collectors and investors battling for a piece of history. Sold. And just like that, someone walked away with a seven-figure payday from a single nickel. Now, here's where you come in. If you think you might have this rare nickel, follow these steps: check your collection, look for the P mint mark and the Monticello design flaws, verify the condition, the higher the grade, the higher the payout, get a professional appraisal, don't guess. Have an expert confirm its authenticity, listed at a top auction house. This is where the big money rolls in. Every single day, rare coins are being bought and sold for life-changing amounts. And guess what? Someone's going to cash in big next. Could it be you? Imagine finding a coin that lets you pay off your house, retire early, or finally live the luxurious lifestyle you've always dreamed of. It's not just a fantasy, it's happening right now. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because I'll be revealing more hidden treasures that could be hiding in your home right now. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next one. What if I told you that a single nickel, yes, a mere 5-cent coin, could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, or even your entire retirement savings? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. A rare 2002 Monticello Jefferson nickel recently made headlines for being valued at a staggering $1.3 million, and you might just have one hiding in your pocket right now. Before you go digging through your couch cushions, let me warn you, only a select few of these coins hold this jaw-dropping value. But if you do happen to find one, well, your life could change forever. I'll reveal exactly what makes this nickel so valuable, how to identify if you own one, and the fastest way to cash in before it's too late. Every now and then, a seemingly ordinary coin slips through the cracks of history, turning everyday collectors into overnight millionaires. But here's the scary part: most people have no idea what they're holding in their hands. They either spend it unknowingly, or worse, sell it for a fraction of its true worth. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you gave away a fortune for just 5 cents. Gut-wrenching, right? Now, let's break down what makes this 2002 Monticello nickel so incredibly rare and valuable. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2002 Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, as marked by the D under Monticello on the reverse side. Millions were made, but here's the twist: only a handful were struck with a rare minting error that turned them into collector's gold. So, what are you looking for? Here are the key giveaways. Double die error. If you see a shadowed or doubled effect, especially on the lettering or Jefferson's face, this could be a sign of a rare strike. Off-center strike. Coins that have been improperly stamped can skyrocket in value. Full steps. Monticello. A sharp, well-defined Monticello with complete steps is one of the biggest indicators of rarity. Lustrous condition. Coins in near-perfect condition with no major scratches or marks sell for the highest prices. And now, don't go pulling out a magnifying glass in the middle of your local coffee shop. People might think you've lost it. But trust me, checking your spare change could be the smartest thing you do today. And now, here's where it gets urgent. The market for rare coins is hot right now, and collectors are paying record-breaking prices. But here's the catch: opportunities like this don't last forever. Every day, more of these valuable coins are discovered, certified, and sold, which means the supply gets smaller and smaller, and demand only grows. So if you think you might have one of these million-dollar nickels, don't wait. Here's what you need to do next: check your change. Start looking through your old jars, piggy banks, and coin collections. Use a jeweler's loupe. Examine the details closely for errors. Get it authenticated. Send it to a professional grading service like pcgs or NGC to verify its worth. Sell smart. Connect with reputable coin dealers or auction houses that specialize in rare coins to get the best price. And before you go, let me ask you this: what if this rare nickel is sitting in your house, right now, waiting to be found? Would you let a potential fortune slip through your fingers? Or will you take action and secure your financial future? If you're serious about discovering hidden wealth in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because in my next video, I'll reveal another rare penny that could make you a millionaire overnight.
For most people, nickels are just small change, tossed in a jar or dropped between couch cushions. But there's one nickel out there, an elusive, unassuming little coin, that could make you a millionaire. Yes, a 1988 Jefferson nickel with a tiny P mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint. This coin is turning heads and shaking up the collector's market with a staggering estimated worth of $1.20 million. You heard that right. $1.2 million for a nickel. So, how does an everyday coin end up being worth enough to buy you a house, a luxury car, or even set you up for a life of comfort? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. So stick around, because the answer might just surprise you, and who knows, you may have one of these treasures sitting right under your nose. And if I told you this was just pocket change, would you believe me? Now, before you start emptying your pockets and checking the coin jar, let's explore how a seemingly ordinary nickel could skyrocket in value. We'll uncover the hidden story behind the 1988 Jefferson nickel, look at why collectors are going absolutely wild over it, and most importantly, how to tell if you have one in your own collection. Now, to understand the worth of this 1988 Jefferson nickel, let's dive into some coin history. In 1988, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of these nickels. But every now and then, a tiny flaw or unique feature on a single coin can send its value through the roof. And here's the thing, the P mint mark on this nickel isn't what you'd call rare. But there's something unique about specific coins from this batch that has collectors on the edge of their seats. Now, what could make a nickel this special? Here's where the story gets thrilling. It's not just about rarity, but the details and intricacies that make it exceptional. This particular 1988 Jefferson nickel has become so valuable due to a combination of factors. And for those of you with even the faintest interest in coins, you know how a tiny minting flaw or a unique characteristic can dramatically alter the value. Imagine walking into a store, handing over this nickel, and watching as the cashier looks at you with wide eyes, not because it's worth 5 cents, but because you've unknowingly handed them $1 million treasure. Incredible, right? But let's hope you don't drop it while paying for a cup of coffee. So, what are these unique features, and why do they matter? It's all about condition, demand, and what collectors call minting oddities. Certain 1988 nickels, thanks to slight errors or imperfections from the minting process, have become extraordinary artifacts. For these, demand is sky high, and scarcity is everything. And of course, condition plays a role. Coins with minimal wear are even more desirable. Imagine discovering your nickel is pristine, with every fine detail intact. Now imagine that nickel is from the rare P mint mark batch of 1988. A coin with these traits is what collectors would consider a holy grail. Now, here's where things get interesting. The coin market can be unpredictable, but one thing is certain. the value of rare coins is only climbing. If you're holding onto an old collection, or maybe you inherited some coins, you might want to give them a second look, especially that 1988 Jefferson nickel. And here's the kicker: every day, more people are hunting for this coin, which means fewer and fewer are available. So the value? It's only going up. Before you set this video aside, take a moment, go through your collection, and check for that elusive 1988 nickel. With a bit of luck and the right conditions, you might just be sitting on a life-changing find. And if you do, you could be stepping into a world of wealth that few get to experience. Because, honestly, what's better? Finding $1.2 million in a lottery ticket or in a pocket change jar? The world of rare coins is one of hidden treasures, waiting to be uncovered. And who knows? Your financial freedom might be just a nickel away. So, keep your eyes open, your collection ready, and don't forget, that life-changing coin might be closer than you think. Imagine finding a simple nickel that could change your life. A coin minted in 1987, hiding in plain sight, and it's worth over $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single, seemingly ordinary Jefferson nickel minted in Denver with the D mint mark, valued at over $1 million. What if you could be holding one in your pocket right now? But here's the catch. It's only valuable if you know what you're looking for. Stick with me until the end, and you'll learn exactly how to identify these million-dollar nickels, the exciting stories behind them, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar. Now, let's dive into why the 1987 D-Mint Jefferson nickel stands out. At first glance, it might look just like any other nickel. After all, millions were minted that year at the Denver Mint. But there's something special about a few rare ones that collectors are obsessing over. And for those few people who have discovered these nickels, the payoff is absolutely staggering. Here's the thing: coin collectors aren't just looking for any old 1987 nickel. They're looking for specific details that can boost this nickel's value from 5 cents to $1.3 million. Intrigued? Well, we'll get to those details, but first, let's explore why these types of coins become so valuable in the first place. Because knowing the why is key to unlocking opportunities like this. Think about it. When something's rare, it instantly becomes valuable. People are drawn to what others don't have. Add a historical story and a few hidden errors, and you've got a recipe for a coin that could be worth a small fortune. But what makes a few of these 1987 nickels truly one in a million? Keep watching. So now you're wondering, how do I know if my 1987 D-Mint nickel is worth $1.3 million? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. Let's get into the details. First, flip that nickel over and look at the Monticello design on the back. One of the key factors in its valuation is the condition of this design. Collectors are specifically looking for nickels that were struck with exceptionally clear, crisp detail. If you can see a strong definition in the columns, windows, and even Jefferson's name in fine detail, then you might have a valuable coin. And then, there are the minting errors. Oh, you thought errors made coins worthless? Think again. In the world of rare coins, certain minting errors can actually increase a coin's value. In fact, it's these imperfections that have driven the price of the 1987 D-Mint Jefferson nickel to such eye-popping heights. Tiny double strikes, misaligned mint marks, or even an odd defect on the surface could turn a regular nickel into a collector's dream. Now, before you grab every 1987 nickel you see, yes, I see you thinking it, not every single one is worth millions. The magic is in the details. Another critical factor is the coin's grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Collectors want nickels that score very high on this scale. If your coin is pristine, with no scratches or tarnishes, it has a much better chance of reaching that $1 million valuation. Now, let's say you've checked your nickel, and it looks promising. What's the next step? How do you turn that discovery into cash? Don't go anywhere, because in the next section, we'll reveal exactly how to get your coin authenticated and valued, without being taken advantage of. So you've gone to your change jar, found your nickel, and maybe, just maybe, you've got a real winner. So what now? How do you cash it in without getting ripped off? Here's what you need to do. First, get your coin authenticated. You'll want to reach out to a reputable grading service like pcgs or NGC. These organizations specialize in rare coins and can verify if your nickel has the details collectors crave. And don't worry about the cost too much. If it turns out to be worth what we hope it is, a small authentication fee will be well worth it. But let me give you a quick warning. Once you know the value, do not rush to sell it at the first offer you get. Some dealers may try to lowball you, offering a fraction of what it's really worth. Instead, consider auctioning your coin through a reputable auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stacks Bowers. These auction houses specialize in rare coins and have networks of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. And here's the exciting part. Many of these collectors bid in fierce competition, which often drives prices even higher than the original valuation. Imagine watching the bids soar as collectors battle for your rare nickel. Just imagine a small nickel, hidden in your change, worth a life-changing amount. It's not just a coin, it's a gateway to a new lifestyle, one with endless possibilities. If you've been dreaming of selling off your rare coins, don't wait. Start searching now, and who knows, you could be the next person to uncover $1 million treasure. And remember, wealth often hides in unexpected places. It's just waiting for someone curious enough to discover it, and in question to drive engagement. So, will you be that person? Is your $1 million nickel out there? Let me know in the comments if you'll be taking a closer look at those nickels in your change jar. And if you find something special, be sure to share your story with us. Imagine holding a coin that's worth over $1 million. Not just any coin, but a Jefferson nickel from 1967, a coin you might just overlook, but one that could change your life forever. Yes, you heard right. A single nickel, worth over $1 million. Today, we're going to uncover the shocking secrets behind this $1 million nickel, how much collectors are currently willing to pay for it, and well, you'll want to stick around because if you have this coin in your possession, you might be holding a golden ticket to wealth. Let's go back to 1967, a time when the US Mint wasn't marking coins. Due to high demand, they removed mint marks entirely for coins made that year, including this very Jefferson nickel. But here's what sets this coin apart. It was during a pivotal time in US history, moon landings, civil rights movements, and an economic boom. People were busy spending, not saving, and no one thought twice about setting aside their change. Fast forward to today, and suddenly, this unmarked nickel becomes one of the rarest coins in circulation. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, it's just a nickel, right? Why would it be worth so much? Well, scarcity and condition are the biggest factors here. Coins from 1967 have endured years of circulation, making pristine ones extremely rare. And without a mint mark to track their origin, finding one in top-notch condition is nearly impossible. Rarity, after all, is the backbone of high-value collectibles, and collectors will pay handsomely for what's rare. Have you checked your couch cushions lately? Because I'm about to tell you exactly why this humble nickel could be hiding in plain sight, worth a small fortune. Alright, so here's where things get thrilling. A standard 1967 Jefferson nickel might not raise any eyebrows, but rare ones, those in mint, pristine condition, have driven collectors to bid eye-watering amounts at auctions. We're talking upwards of $1.4 million for the best specimens. That's more than some homes, even in today's market. And if you think that's just a one-off case, think again. There's a demand because serious collectors know how difficult it is to find one of these in near-perfect shape. But what makes the 1967 nickel so special? To put it simply, it's the perfect storm of historical significance, rarity, and the mystique of no mint-marked coins. Collectors look for coins that tell a story, and this one? Well, it's not just telling a story, it's shouting. Let me put this in perspective. You may think of it as just 5 cents, but for collectors, it's a masterpiece, like a Picasso or a Rembrandt, that just happens to fit in your pocket. And for those thinking this sounds too good to be true, let's keep in mind, there are real people who have sold their coins for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This isn't fiction, it's documented. So here's the question. Could you have one of these lying around right now? Are you sitting on a life-changing treasure? Alright, time for a reality check. Are you going to break out into a sweat every time you see a nickel? Maybe. But hey, I think you'd be okay with that if it meant $1 million in your pocket, right? So now comes the big question. How can you tell if your nickel is the nickel? First, examine the coin's overall appearance. Coins that have been untouched, free from wear, scratches, or any significant handling are your best bet. If you happen to spot a nickel that looks suspiciously pristine, get it evaluated. Seriously, don't just throw it into your loose change. Professional grading services can help determine its quality, authenticity, and most importantly, its potential market value. Imagine walking into a coin dealer with a simple nickel, only to have them inform you it could be worth thousands, or even millions. Just think about that for a second. How would you feel? Another thing to look for is whether your 1967 Jefferson nickel has any unique or unusual qualities. If there's anything that looks a little different, that can sometimes mean it's a unique print or an error, which also increases its value. And if you're not sure, well, that's what professionals are for. It's always worth getting a second opinion, especially when there's serious money on the line. But here's the catch. Coins like these are only going up in value. Every year, as they become even scarcer, collectors get even hungrier. The market for rare coins is exploding right now, and who knows where it will be a year from now. This could be your moment. If you have a 1967 nickel or any other rare coin in pristine condition, you're sitting on a treasure, a potential $1 million windfall waiting to be cashed in. So here's what you need to do. Check every nickel you have from 1967. Flip it over, look closely, and if you think it could be in pristine condition, get it appraised. Don't let the chance of a lifetime slip through your fingers. A 5-cent coin, a small piece of history, could hold the key to your financial freedom. So go on, start digging, because fortune doesn't always knock. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Imagine holding a simple nickel that could change your life. Not just any nickel, but a 1961 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, and it's currently valued at an astonishing $1.6 million. That's right, a small, 5-cent coin that could be worth more than most homes. Do you have one? Stick around to find out, because what you learn in this video could be the difference between keeping a small fortune hidden in a drawer and uncovering a life-changing treasure. Now, if you're like most people, the idea of finding a valuable coin sounds exciting, maybe even unbelievable. Yet there are stories, real stories, of people discovering these rare treasures in the most unexpected places. I mean, who looks at their spare change and thinks, I could have $1 million in my hand right now. But that's the reality for a select few who found rare coins like the 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. This one tiny detail, the absence of a mint mark, could mean the difference between ordinary pocket change and a prize worth millions. So, what makes this nickel so special? Well, the answer goes back to a unique period in U.S. history. At that time, most coins minted in Philadelphia didn't carry a mint mark, making it more challenging to trace back to the specific origins. And while Philadelphia did produce millions of Jefferson nickels, finding one in top condition from this period is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's why collectors are willing to pay a premium, a massive one. But before we dive into what makes this coin so rare, here's a question. Have you ever taken the time to look closely at your old nickels or pennies? If not, after this video, I bet you will. So, let's get into the details. And if you're thinking, oh, come on, it's just a nickel, how complicated can it be? Well, that's where the excitement comes in. Believe me, this nickel holds more secrets than a Hollywood thriller. The 1961 Jefferson nickel is part of a series of coins celebrating America's heritage, namely, the statesman Thomas Jefferson and his historic Monticello estate. But among the millions of nickels produced in 1961, very few remain in pristine, untouched condition. And here's where it gets fascinating: coins graded as MS 67 or higher are nearly impossible to find, and that's precisely what collectors are after. Imagine this scenario. A collector finds a pristine, high-grade 1961 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. Its near-perfect condition makes it a diamond among stones, a piece that can command millions. A collector might sell or trade other high-value coins just to obtain one like it. Why? Because rarity, combined with perfection, creates a potent cocktail that can drive prices to the stratosphere. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so it's rare. But why does this matter? Think of it this way. As the population of rare coins dwindles, demand skyrockets. Only a handful of collectors ever get their hands on these coins. It's like owning a piece of history, a story that's worth way more than just 5 cents. And with only a few known examples of this 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in high-grade condition, there's an urgency. Every time one is discovered, the market becomes that much more competitive. Now, you might be wondering, do I have one of these rare gems stashed away? Don't go rushing to check your coins just yet. There are a few more crucial things you need to know before you can identify a potentially valuable nickel. Hold on. I know you're itching to dump your change drawer right now. But wouldn't it be frustrating to go through all that and come up empty-handed? Let's first make sure you're looking for the right things. Alright, so how do you know if you're holding a fortune or just 5 cents? Here's a checklist for you to follow. Check the date. Look for the year 1961. Sounds obvious. But it's the first step to narrowing down your search.no mint mark. If you see a small letter on the coin's face, it's from another mint, and it won't hold the same value. This specific 1961 coin is valuable because it lacks a mint mark. Condition. Collectors are looking for coins in top condition, rated as MS 67 or higher. Any visible scratches, dullness, or where will significantly reduce the value. Get it graded. To truly know the value, you'll need a professional grading service to confirm the coin's condition. Believe me, this is worth every penny, no pun intended. Now, here's the $1,000,000 question. If you found one of these rare coins, would you sell it? Or would you hold on to it, watching its value climb higher? Some collectors believe we haven't even seen the peak prices for these rare coins. Imagine what that could mean in a few more years. So, what's it going to be? Will you dig through your coin collection and take the leap? Or will you let this opportunity slip through your fingers? Remember, this isn't just a story, it's real, and it could be you holding that coin worth $1.60 million. The 1961 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of possibility, of finding value in the most unexpected places. If you've ever felt the thrill of discovering something unique, something valuable, then you already understand the excitement this coin brings. And if you haven't looked at your coins lately, today might be the day. Because the only thing standing between you and a potential fortune is a simple act. Checking your change.so. What are you waiting for? You could have a $1.6 million nickel in your pocket right now. The question is, are you going to find it? Could this be your lucky day? If you're ready to learn more about rare coins with the potential to change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, drop a comment if you found any unique coins yourself. Who knows? You might be holding your ticket to wealth and never knew it. See you in the next video. You're digging through your old coin jar, mindlessly sifting through some loose change when, bam, you come across a 1978 nickel. Seems ordinary, right? But what if I told you that tiny piece of metal could be worth over $1 million? Yes, over $1 million. Stay with me, because today we're diving into the remarkable story of the 1978 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, a coin that's making waves in the collecting world. But I warn you, there are a few crucial details you need to know if you're hoping to cash in. Miss even one, and your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity could slip right through your fingers. So, let's talk about how a humble nickel could turn into a jackpot for you, but only if you know what you're looking for. Now, let's take a step back. The Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938, and most of us have handled these coins countless times. Yet, in 1978, something peculiar happened.
Pan.
You see,
And
a
the
rare
English
few
of
nickels
Mary
from that year
Latte
emerged
Tijana
with no
Paito
mint mark.
Safety.
No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, no P for Philadelphia, just Monticello on one side, Jefferson on the other, and silence where that tiny letter should be. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, so a mint mark is missing, what's the big deal? Here's where things get interesting. This wasn't an intentional omission. It was a rare, almost unexplainable error, something that should have never happened. And for collectors, it's precisely these quirks that create value. Coins like this are so rare, they stir up excitement among collectors who are ready to pay unimaginable sums for them. Yes, we're talking about a coin with a missing letter, worth more than most cars. Seriously, when did a missing letter ever make my grocery list more valuable? But in the world of rare coins, things work differently. And that's precisely why this 1978 nickel is so extraordinary. Here's what to look for. This coin has Monticello on the back, Jefferson on the front, and one specific characteristic missing. No mint mark. You'll need a magnifying glass for this level of inspection, but hey, wouldn't you if it's worth over $1 million? So, what's making these missing mint mark coins so special? The answer lies in scarcity. Coin errors are usually spotted early in the minting process, which means very few of these nickels ever made it into circulation. And among collectors, scarcity means high value. But remember, not every missing mint mark instantly translates into millions. These coins are graded on condition, and one in nearly pristine state was sold for over $1.4 million. High-energy music begins, shots of various old coins, hinting at hidden treasures in everyday coin jars. Now, think about this. Somewhere in an old drawer, a dusty coin jar, or a forgotten wallet, there could be a small fortune waiting for you. Imagine the feeling, discovering that this nickel, overlooked for decades, could finally grant you that once-in-a-lifetime windfall. But here's where things get real. Most people will look at their 1978 nickels, shrug, and toss them back in the jar, completely oblivious to the potential they hold. Don't be that person. Before you start rummaging through your change, though, there's one more critical piece of information you need, something that could make or break your chances of cashing in on this coin. But first, ask yourself this. If there was even a slight chance that your nickel was worth $1 million, wouldn't you do everything in your power to find out? So here's your next step. Check any 1978 nickels for the missing mint mark. And if you find one, get it appraised immediately by a trusted coin grading service. Timing is everything, and coin values fluctuate depending on market demand and the condition of the coin itself. The value of this coin has reached historic highs, but who knows what the future holds. The time to act is now. So, will you be one of the few to discover this rare treasure? Imagine what this kind of money could mean. Maybe it's the down payment on a new home, the long-dreamed-of vacation, or simply the chance to live more comfortably. Coins may be small, but their potential is limitless. Thank you for joining me on this exploration into the world of rare coins. If you're excited about the possibility of life-changing finds right under your nose, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Because next time, we're uncovering even more hidden treasures that could be lurking in your wallet. Imagine, one coin away from a dream come true. Don't miss out.